Hey, hello, what is up? This is the Right Academy and my name is Mike, and in this video we are going to answer a particular question from the chemistry paper, which is science paper 2. This is the paper that came, or rather the paper that they wrote in 2017, I think August, okay, and meaning this makes the paper to be called a Gce chemistry paper, okay. So now, I'm not going to answer the entire past paper, but with regards to what I'm trying to answer is that I want to pick out some of the things that I've taught on my channel, some of the things that you people have already watched, okay? So in this video is about, or rather specifically for the, topic called the Moore concept, okay? So about balancing the chemical equation, and then also finding the relative molecular mass of the chemical formula, of the chemical compound, and then also, acid and bases. Of course, we have not tackled acid and bases, but although this question again is about the Moore concept, okay, so don't worry about the acid and bases, and then how you can also find the mass of a substance that has been produced due to the neutralization reaction, okay. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and like and share so that you can get more out of these things that I'm posting. You'll be the first person to be notified once every time and every single day that I upload the video to my channel. So please do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell notification bar so that whenever we post, we update and anything on our platform, on our Facebook page, and then also YouTube channel, you'll be the first person to be notified. Okay, so let us now jump into the main stuff. Okay, so I'm not going also to write the question on the board, but what I'll do is I'm going to screenshot the question so that before you can also start answering the question, you'll be able to see the question that will be answering just right before you click on this video or before you start watching the video. So I encourage you that maybe you can copy the question if you like, and then also you can do whatever you want, okay? So now let us jump right into it, okay? Okay, but I'll just be able to read loud out to you so that you can get some of the sense of what the question is talking about. And yeah, so this is section B, chemistry, question B1. Okay, so the question goes like, a spillage of 15.5 tons of sulfuric acid results from an accident of a road tanker. Select lime is used to neutralize the acid according to the equation below. So here's the equation. Okay. So that's the chemical equation that is representing the reaction of the acid that actually spilled out from whatever vehicle is carrying the acid, and then they add to mix this acid with the lime or whatever you call it, select lime. Okay. So they are saying that the mass of this acid was 15.5. Okay, so the mass of the acid was 15.5 tons. Okay, and then also the first question is saying balance the chemical reaction. So we have been told to balance the chemical equation, okay? So we have been told to balance the chemical equation, okay? So once again, I've done a lot of videos about balancing chemical equations. So I'll put a link in the description, on top of the screen. You'll be able to click on it so that you don't have problems when it comes to balancing a chemical reaction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer this question so quick, but I encourage you that if you don't know anything about balancing a chemical equation, I really encourage you that you go to my videos and then click one of the videos, chemistry video, where I did a lot of questions. I did a lot of, I think 3 or 2 videos where I did balancing of the chemical equation or reaction. So I'm just gonna go quick and answer this question without wasting much time. Okay. So what you need to understand is that whenever you're balancing a chemical equation or reaction, is that you look at, this is the reactant, these are products. Okay. So before the products can be formed, we've got the reaction, we've got the reactants, and then after these two combine together, we've got now the products. Okay, so from there we've got sulfuric acid, calcium hydroxide. Calcium sulfate is a product, and then also water. So that is how neutralization equation gives out. Okay, so when you react an acid with a base, you are going to produce water and then also a salt. Okay, so we have the salt and then we have the water. Then this is the base and then this is the acid. So this is what we call neutralization reaction or chemical reaction, and it involves the reaction between an acid and the base, and then to produce a salt and the water. Now from there, we have been told to say, let us now balance the chemical equation above. Okay, so how do you balance the chemical equation? You look at the number of hydrogen. So we have hydrogen 1, we have hydrogen 2, and then also in the brackets, and then the 2 outside, we have the hydrogen. So just before the product can be formed, we've got 4 atoms of hydrogen. And then you go to the product part, you can see that H2O, hydrogen in the water compound is 2. So how do we now change the 2 to become 4 so that it balances up with those that are in the reactor? So what you do is you put the 2 in front. So you always put the 2 in front. Okay, once you do that, then you have only balanced the hydrogen. Okay, so you come to the sulfur. So the S represents the sulfur. So sulfur is 1, and then sulfur is also 1. So there is nothing to stress about or concerning sulfur. Sulfur is just 1. So we don't have to even worry about the sulfur. Okay, and then the calcium. Okay, so calcium, and then also the calcium there. So calcium is also 2 balanced. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then the oxygen. Now these 2 inside also represent the oxygen. Okay, and then also we have oxygen. Before I get to this one, we have the oxygen, 4 atoms of oxygen plus these 2 atoms of oxygen. So oxygen is 6. Okay, and then we have these 4 atoms on the product side, 4 atoms of oxygen plus these 2 that are put in front of the water also represent the oxygen atom. So altogether 4 plus 2, we get the 6, and then also there are 6. So all you needed to do is just to put the 2 in front of the water compound or water substance. Okay, and that's how you can go about balancing the chemical equation, and that's it. There is nothing to worry about. Okay, so H2O SO4 plus calcium hydroxide goes to calcium plus 2. Okay, now you don't have to forget the chemical, the state symbol. So an acid is always in aqueous. Okay, then this is the solid, and then this is liquid. Okay. Okay. Now, the second question now is saying that determine the relative formula mass of calcium hydroxide. Okay, so determine the relative formula mass of calcium hydroxide. Okay, so calcium hydroxide. Okay, so what you just need to do there is that you just find the combined mass. Okay, the combined masses. Okay. So calcium. So all you have to do is do this. Okay. So these two represent whatever is inside the brackets. So this is 2 multiplied by, for hydrogen, 1, then 2 multiplied by 16, then 2, that's it for the 2. So this 2 is just for whatever is inside. Then for the calcium, there is only 1 calcium plus the 40. Now, these numbers 1, 16, and 40, these are the numbers that when you use the periodic table, we find them on top of the element. For example, calcium is like this. Calcium is 40 and then 20. Okay. And then oxygen is 8, then 16. Okay. So make sure you also get yourself familiar with the periodic table. So this is 2, is 32, this is 40. So what you do now is that you add those numbers, okay? So I don't want to make sure that you add on your own 2 plus 32 plus. This gives us 74. Okay. 2 plus 32 plus. Okay. So that gives us 74 as the relative formula mass of that. Okay. Now we'll move on to question C. Use the balanced equation to determine the mass of calcium sulfate formed during the neutralization of the spilled acid. So use the balanced equation to determine the mass of calcium sulfate. Okay, so you have to pay attention. The question is calcium sulfate. Okay, the mass of calcium sulfate, meaning that was formed a salt. So during the neutralization, so calcium sulfate. Okay. And then on this one, we've got to be very careful, okay? Because we are only interested in the things that I have thing that I know about, okay? So I know that the mass of this sulfuric acid is 15.5 tons. Now the mass of calcium sulfate is X tons, okay? I don't know the mass of calcium sulfate, so I put X. But what I know is what I know is also that I need to find the relative molecular mass of sulfuric acid, which is 98. Okay, 98. And then calcium sulfate, okay, the calcium sulfate, this one is going to give me 136. Okay, so when you do calculate, you do this, okay. So when you do that, that's where you get the 98. Also for calcium sulfate, okay, when you do this, that's where you get the 136. 4 multiplied by 16, 1 multiplied by 32, 1 multiplied by 40. So when you get everything, you are getting, when you add everything, first of all you multiply, and then those three numbers, you add them, get 186. Okay, so you can just practice on how to do that. So what you do is, after you get that, you can now come up with this mathematical way of writing that. Okay. So this is going to be 98 equals to that, then equals to that. So what you do is you cross multiply now. Okay, you cross multiply. So this is going to be 98 equals to 136, 15.5 equals to x times. Then you do this, okay? So you're going to get 15.5 multiplied by 136 equals to 98x. So 15.5 multiplied by that, this is it. Then this multiplied by that, you get that. Okay. So 15.5 multiplied by 136. So on this one you get 2108 equals to 98. So what you do is you divide both sides by 98 to remain with x. So now x equals to okay. So after you divide now by 98, you get 21.510 tons of calcium sulfate. So now you can also convert this one to mass, so I'll show you how to do that, but that's the final answer, okay? So 1 ton equals to 1000 kg. Okay. Then you can now say 0.1.590 equals to x. So you can multiply now. You can cross multiply this times that. You get x equals 0.1510 kg. But again, in chemistry, we normally work with a gram, so you can convert that one also. So multiply by again 1000. So x will be equal to which can be written as x equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 2.15 times 10 to the power. Okay. So the final answer can be also written in this way. Okay. So either way you get the answer is correct. But that's the final answer. Now the last question of this is that they are saying calcium hydroxide is a base. Which ion present in the compound is responsible for its basic properties? So they are talking about when you're talking about a base and then you're talking about an acid, so the functionality of an acid or the identity of an acid is because there is hydrogen ions. Okay, so there are hydrogen ions. And then the identity, why is it called a base? It is because they contain hydroxide ions. Okay, or normally they they are accepting the ions that comes from the acid. Okay. So now the final answer is they're saying calcium hydroxide. So that's calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is a base. Okay.